The idea was to pretend that one of these chords represented your trauma, and then we would tie them up, and they would have to break free of their trauma, right? And so we had to make 100 of these braided streamer things, and my students now call that box the torture box. Because I was like, hey, it's a braiding party, whee! And they're like, no, we're done. No, we can't do any more. No more. So is it a party or is it the torture box? I don't know.
Weavers of the Web is a pagan church. So the inspiration behind it really comes from my upbringing. I grew up in the South as Southern Baptist and then later Presbyterian, going to church with my family. And down there in the Bible Belt back then, the church, everything revolved around church your whole life. When I found Wicca, I found the call of the gods in my heart that I had never felt in a Christian church. But I lost the community. So I always wanted to recreate that. And that's what Weavers was for. When I started the church, we started meeting at a place called Intercet Ambassadors Ministries. They had their own church meeting, and then they rented the space out to other organizations. When we started looking for a place of our own, that was top priority, was to make sure that we could provide that same thing, provide room for somebody else to do their own rituals or celebrations or play Dungeons and Dragons like they are right now.
To be fair, the Weavers of the Web have helped me a great deal, because if it wasn't for the Weavers, I would have never met the greater Lansing area drummers.
Greater Lansing Area Drummers is a group of people that get together every week, every Sunday from 2 to 4. We meet and we play drums. It's kind of like a free-form drum jam. Anybody is welcome to join in. You don't have to have musical background or experience. We're really good with walking people through who have never drummed before. There's a lot of positive energy in the space, and I think that comes into the drum circle, and the drum circle also creates a lot of energy when we're drumming together, and it goes into the space. So it's kind of a mutual give and take, I think. I knew a person who introduced me to drum circles. They had a gathering around the full moon every month, and I would go to that, and I just fell in love with it so much. I couldn't believe how much fun it was. It was amazing. And then when I came here, there wasn't really anything like that. So I wanted to start my own. It took me a few years to get it going.
Art Interactive is a group of people helping facilitate creative experiences. And quite simply, I tell myself, if we have something to eat, if there's some music for people to listen to, and we're creating art together, then it's a successful event. I've primarily been a painter, and painting can be a very solitary experience. I met more and more creative, brilliant people, and I wanted to do something together. I did the Strawberry Moon event, and thankfully I was really blessed with a great group of people coming together who really believe in the vision of making art accessible.
People in the Lansing community and people who are involved with the Fledge and with Art Interactive have been coming to our events, and we're coming to their events now. And yeah, there's a big intersection of community, and that's what's so great, is meeting all these wonderful people.
When we started doing the full moon events, I actually reached out to Solenox personally. The very first time Solenox showed up themselves, I didn't know what to expect. They arrived in a robe, and right away I knew that something awesome was going to happen. And I honestly didn't know even how our audience was going to respond. Solenox got a whole parade of people, and it ended up being a really enthusiastic ritual experience. It's easy, I feel to form different cliques sometimes, so I'm happy that we're all using the moon to build unity.
I'm not trying to tell people what to do or how to do it. I'm holding space for those connections to happen and for the community support to happen. And I really think that good things happen when you mix people together. Comes right down to that. Good things happen when you mix people together and when you support people.
This is probably the most accepted that I've felt in any setting. Being one of the many who are neurodivergent, the outside world tends to judge people and punish people for having like, educational disabilities or behaviors or anything like that, but Weavers has made me feel very comfortable about myself and very loved.
Providing that community home for people who can't get it elsewhere. That's why I didn't know this was going to be my niche when I opened, but my niche is apparently disabled and queer folk. Because we all get kicked out of other places and nobody wants us around. So, yeah, that's what I want to create something that will continue so that my children will have a place to go when I'm not here.
A sense of community and a sense of belonging somewhere, strong support group. Weavers the Web gave me the support when I was going through recovery and lost my grandma all during COVID.
No matter what aspect you could think of, be it skin color, your pathway, body type, whatever, neuropathy, all are welcome to celebrate themselves and their successes as well as their mistakes. And guess what? You're a human, and that, having that as an element of the inclusion and diversity, I think really speaks volumes.
And if it wasn't for being in all three of these groups, I'd never even have came up with all the ideas to start something in St. John's.
Really with the Wise tradition, which is the tradition of Wicca that we're a part of, it's really big on self-discovery, spending a lot of time growing in my own self rather than, okay, you must follow these rules and do these and these and these. It's provided a safe place for me to learn and grow as a person. Over the last 3 years, I have, I used to be timid. Just 2-3 years ago, I would not have been able to handle something like this. So for me, it's allowed me to grow and be comfortable, even doing in an interview such as this. Like 2 years ago, yeah, no way, you couldn't have cornered me. But I've become, it's helped me find my voice. It's helped me find myself on a deeper level.
It's been molding me into somebody I didn't know I could be. I've wound up in this leadership role mostly just because something needed to be done and nobody else was doing it, so I did it. And I'm doing it, so I guess I must be okay at it. But no, I never expected to find myself in this position or really sought it out. Again, I did it because I wanted it for my family. And so.